And welcome back. Well, this week, the Milwaukee area community will have the chance to engage with members of the U.S. Navy in over 75 local events during Navy Week here in Milwaukee. The gatherings are designed to remind us that the Navy is deployed around the world, around the clock, ready to defend our country at all times. We're thrilled to be here with the Force Master Chief, Terry J. Prince, right next to me. Then we've got Chief Hospital Corpsman Leah Baldwin, along with several sailors. We've got Will, Toya, Tim, and Johnny. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
You guys have kind of become like a studio audience today as well, which has been fun. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
This is pretty great. So let's talk a little bit about Navy Week and why it was important to come to Milwaukee, because this is done in, what, like 68 different cities around the country, but Milwaukee is chosen as one of them.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here representing the Navy here in Milwaukee. And Navy Week is an opportunity for us to take the Navy and bring it to towns that don't often see the Navy. And one thing I'm excited about here in Milwaukee is that I grew up here, and so I was exposed to sailors coming up here from Great Lakes, Illinois, on Liberty. So it's really an awesome opportunity to come back to Wisconsin, give back to the community, and show the citizens of Milwaukee what an awesome Navy they have.
Yeah, that is really cool. You know, we always joke that often Lake Michigan looks like an ocean or a sea or something like that. We're very lucky to have that. You know, so it's kind of fun to bring you guys here, learn more about what you do to defend our country. But there's a lot of fun events going on. What are some of the events that you guys have going on this week here in Milwaukee?
Well, we're going to have the band performing at Summerfest. We're going to have sailors from Navy Medicine representing. We got the divers here from all over the country representing. We just have a lot of different activities going on. We're going to have volunteer activities going at the Boys and Girls Clubs in 2 different spots. I'm visiting my old Boy Scout troop. Troop 21 was my first Boy Scout troop in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, which is where I was raised until we moved into Milwaukee. So tons of activities all over the city. You're going to see sailors doing some great things.
I think that's really exciting. Were you a little bit bummed that Navy wasn't at the top of the Tinder list that Molly was talking about for like hottest professions?
Yeah, we like the Navy to be a great workplace, and I'm not sure. I'm not on Tinder, so everybody knows. In case my wife is watching.
You're a little busy. A little busy to be on
right
Tinder.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the uniforms that you're wearing. Your uniform looks a little bit different. Is there a reason that you're wearing the red vest versus some of the outfits that everybody else is wearing?
Yes, ma'am. Him and I are stationed at the USS Constitution in Boston. And we wear this uniform to represent the history and heritage of the Navy. This is actually a real Navy uniform from 1813.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we just wear this, yes, to promote the history and heritage.
What is Old Ironsides? Is that what this is?
Yes,
okay.
That's the nickname for the USS Constitution. She got that nickname in the War of 1812 against the HMS Guerriere.
What makes someone interested in going into the Navy? Is it the history of our country? Is it that that's where your skill set fell within serving our country? What made you decide, coming from Tosa and growing up here locally, to get involved and then becoming a Force Master Chief?
What was exciting is my neighbor when I was a kid was a recruiter, and I was telling the sailors I was riding with, he actually wore the tropical whites, which is our short pant version, and white socks pulled up. And then I already told you I saw a lot of sailors who were at the Grand Avenue Mall when I was a kid. And so just seeing and talking to them and the opportunities that existed for a sailor like me coming out of Custer High School to all of a sudden being in this position 30 years later to this month, to be exact.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, I walked into the recruiter's office on Capitol Drive near Capitol Court and said, I want to join the Navy. And I'm sure he was a little scared to hear someone just walking in off the street. But it seems to have worked out okay.
Do you have to make sure that you don't get seasick if you're in the Navy? Is that like a requirement? You can't get motion sickness?
Did one of my friends call you?
Do you get motion sickness?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I could never be in the Navy because I get sick just riding in a car. I'm, one of those people.
Ultimately, you get used to it. You know, I was on the Iwo Jima, deployed to the Persian Gulf, and you ultimately get used to it, and you find yourself actually very relaxed at sea. It's a nice place to be.
Yeah. What do you love about being in the Navy?
I just, especially being stationed where we are, we get to talk to so many people, and it's just the people that you meet everywhere you go. It's all about the people.
And some of the events going on, just kind of, is there a couple that you could highlight, some different things going on this week? I know you kind of mentioned being at Summerfest. Are there a couple other ideas that you can give people so they can come and learn about Summerfest, or I mean about the Navy, whether it's at Summerfest or other areas?
Yeah, I think the biggest one we're going to be doing is at Discovery World. We're going to have a number of sailors down there, and I think it's a great opportunity for the public to come up to us and ask questions.
What do they ask?
They ask me,
what's the number one? What do you hear all the time?
how tall am I?
Yeah, because you are tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'8".
6'11"?
Yeah.
Oh, 6'8". Okay.
If I was 6'11", I'd probably be playing for the Bucks right now.
Let's hope, right?
But the questions that I get, and Leah mentioned the uniform, we get tons of questions about ribbons and what are the different devices that we wear and how long have you been in and how do I get in, which is one of my favorite questions is, can I join the Navy as well? And sailors will say, can you help me? What can you do in the Navy? And what they're surprised to discover is that Leah and I are hospital corpsmen, so you can be a medical person, you can work on aircraft, you can be a ship maintainer. The list is a mile long of the different opportunities that exist in the Navy. So we encourage them to come to the museum, come to the Discovery Center, come to Summerfest, come to all these different places where you're going to see the sailors and talk to us.
So if people have like the black scarves that you guys are wearing, is it proper to be like, thanks, sailor? I mean, like, can you say, like, how do you address someone in the Navy?
You say good morning, sailor, or in the case of these two, you say good morning, petty officer.
All right.
And they're like, okay, they'll respond accordingly.
And then does it mean that you two are different since you're not wearing the black tie?
That's correct. Lieutenant Michael is a naval officer.
Okay.
And it's indicated by his
He's the one that tells people to
shoulder
drop
blades.
and give you 20?
Yeah, he's the one that tells me what to do. We follow his orders. And
so he's the boss of you?
He's the boss of me this week, yeah.
Oh, and he didn't even get the mic. There you
What's
are.
interesting, and Lieutenant Michael is a naval reservist, and so Navy reserves are a huge, they provide a tremendous support to the Navy. They are the Navy, and he's actually been called on active duty just for this event to provide some assistance in the public affairs.
Well, I think it's really cool. People get to learn more about what you guys do, and thank you for your service. All of you, thank you for being here. Here's where you can find out more about all the Navy Week events going on. Visit our website. We'll have a link to it so you can find out where they are. Go meet yourself a sailor, right? themorningblend.com is our website where you can find that list. Thanks so much for being here, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.